Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Continuing with the concept of aham, to ask someone what are you doing now, then say idanim bhavan kim karoti. If the person is a male, where idanim means now, bhavan means you, kim means what, karoti means doing. And if the person is a female, then ask idanim bhavati kim karoti. Then the reply should be, say if I am seeing, then say aham pashyami. If say I am eating, then say aham khadami. Say I am speaking, then say aham vadami. Say I am reading or studying, then say aham pathami. To say I am hearing, then say aham shunomi. To say I am playing, then say aham kridami. Say I am drinking, then say aham pibami. I am going, then say aham gacchami. If say I am coming, then say aham agacchami. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. After the completion of the concept of aham, today let's look into vayam. As we saw, aham means I am, that is singular, and vayam means we are, that is plural. To say we are students, then say vayam chhatraha. To say we are doctors, then say vayam vaidyaha. To say we are teachers, then say vayam adhyapakaha. To say we are patriots, then say vayam deshabhaktaha. To say we are Hindus, then say vayam haindavaha. To say we are Samskrita students, then say vayam Samskrita chhatraha. To say we will speak in Sanskritam, then say vayam Samskritena sambhashanam kurmaha. To say we pardon you, then say vayam kshamamahe. To say let us sing a song, then say vayam geetam gayama. To say let us drink, then say vayam pibamaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Today let's see about tat and tani. Tat means that one, that is singular, whereas tani is plural of tat. Let's see examples. For asking what is that in Sanskritam, say tat kim, where tat means that or that one and kim means what. Let's see some examples. To say that is a flower, then use tat pushpam. To say that is a book, then use tat pustakam. To say that is a handkerchief, then say tat karavastram. Now let's see about tani. To ask what are those or what are they, then say tani kani, where tani means those or they and kani is what. Then reply if those are handkerchiefs, then say tani karavastrani. To say those are books, then use tani pustakani. To say those are flowers, then use tani pushpani. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. After the completion of tat and tani, today let's learn about etat and etani. As we saw, tat means that or that one and tani means plural form of tat, whereas etat means this or this one and etani means plural form of etat. To ask what is this in Sanskritam, say etat kim, then reply if this is a pen. Say etat lekhani. This is a finger ring. Then reply etat anguliyakam. This is a mango fruit. Then reply etat amraphalam. If this is a banyan tree, then reply etat vatavruksham. Now let's look into etani. To ask what are these in Sanskritam, say etani kani, where etani means these and kani means what. Then reply if these are leaves, then say etani patrani. If these are fruits, then say etani phalani. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Today, let's understand the meaning of the shloka. The shloka that we are going to decode today is Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. The first step in Anvaya, that is understanding the meaning of the shloka, is Padavibhaga, that is identifying the padam or words in the shloka. Therefore, the padam or words in the shloka are: first one is Vakratunda, second one is Mahakaya, third one is Surya Koti Samaprabha, fourth one is Nirvignam, fifth one is Kuru, sixth one is Me, seventh one is Deva, eighth one is Sarvakaryeshu, and last padam, that is ninth one is Sarvada. The second step is understanding the meaning of each padam that we have done in Padavibhaga. So, the first padam or word is Vakratunda, which contains two words, namely Vakra and Tunda. Vakra means curved trunk. Tunda means trunk. This is the superficial meaning. There will be deeper meaning also, which can be obtained or gained from Guru, Shastra, Bhashya, that is commentaries. As Guru Garu said in Ganapati Vaibhavam, for example, the deeper meaning of Vakratunda is Vakran Tundayati iti Vakratundaha, where Vakran means obstacles or Vigna and Tundayati means breaking down. Therefore, Vakratunda is the one who is capable of breaking down the obstacles. Second padam or word is Mahakaya, where Maha means big and Kaya means Sharira or body. So Mahakaya is one who is having big body. Third padam is Koti Surya Samaprabha, where Koti means crore or infinite, Surya means sun, Sama means equal, and Prabha means glow or shine or brilliance. So Koti Surya Samaprabha means one who is having brilliance equal to the glow of 1 crore suns. This completes the first line of the shloka. The fourth padam or word is Nirvignam, where Vigna means obstacles and Ni is added as prefix. Nikara always opposes the actual meaning. Example, Nirahankara meaning no ahankara, Nirvikara meaning no vikara, etc. Therefore, Nirvigna means non-obstacles. Fifth padam or word is Kuru meaning do. Sixth padam is Me meaning for me or mine. Seventh padam is Deva meaning God. Eighth padam is Sarvakaryeshu, where Sarva means in all and Karyeshu means activities. So Sarvakaryeshu means in all activities. And last padam, that is the ninth padam, is Sarvada, meaning always. So by knowing the meaning of each padam or word, you will be able to understand what whom the shloka or sutra is describing. The third step is rearranging the padam or words to make a sentence, vakya. So when we rearrange the words to make it a sentence, for our understanding, it will be Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Deva Sarvada Me Sarvakaryeshu Nirvignam Kuru. In a nutshell, the meaning will be, O God, who is having Vakratunda, that is curved trunk, Mahakaya, huge body, and who is Koti Surya Samaprabha, having brilliance of 1 crore suns. Always in all my activities, there should not be any obstacles like that you do.